Hello YouTube. Today we're making goat's milk soap. Now I bought this large crock pot at a junk store. It's a double batch crock pot for me because I'm used to using the little ones. You're right over there. There's my 4 pots. They're going now. And but over here we're working with goat's milk. And I have my peppermint essential oil and my clove essential oil. I have a cup and a half of Toll House cocoa. This soap is called Deep Forest Peppermint. In here I have 15 ounces, 0.9 of goat's milk that I had frozen fresh. It was raw, unpasteurized, straight from the tit. Went and picked it up myself. There's some videos you can see the actual goat that it came from. I have this on warm. And instead of heating my crock pot up on high or on medium or low, I went straight to warm. And these bigger crock pots have that option so that we're not getting our temperatures up so high for goat's milk. I have my Supperfats ready. This is coconut oil and the green, very, very, very expensive olive oil, first pressed. That's the good kind. When the plastic or the glass is green, they're hiding something. But when the contents are green, it's exactly what you're looking for. So I think one of the important things to do with goat's milk is to have everything ready because it's very temperamental. And what will happen with the crock pot and goat's milk is it separates. And you think, oh gosh, what happened to my soap? But it's not actually the soap that's doing that. It's that when you heat goat's milk or cow's milk, it can turn into buttermilk. And so what happens is if you get this too hot, it separates and it turns into, the milk that's in there turns into buttermilk. And so it's very important that you stay right with it. And you got to stir it a lot, which is not normal for hot processed soap. But with this, you have to stir it a lot. Now, over here in my sink, I have 2 batches worth of lye in 1 batch worth of water. And then here is our other liquid. Because I use 15.9 ounces of water per normal batch, and this being a double batch, I have the same amount in goat's milk and the same amount in water, but twice the lye is over there in an ice bath. I guess we'll just go see that. Look over the floor. Look, there's a few things laying around. Oh, look at this. Total disaster. I was playing on YouTube and not paying attention to this one. This one is always doing that. Now I'm going to have to clean it up. Total mess alert. I'll fix that in a second. But right here, I have my double batch worth of lye in an ice water bath. Okay, I'm going to pause this video for a moment so that I can clean up my mess. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, I have cleaned up my mess. This crock pot just gets really, really hot. And I have to turn it off. Sometimes within the first hour. I always have to keep the lid slightly cocked. So I have cleaned her up and turned off the heat, and then I'll come back in a little bit. But these other 4, they're doing fine. This one here gets too hot too. You can see how it bubbles up faster, and I have to keep the lid where it can breathe. Where these 2, they go nice and slow, so I can keep the lids normal. But now back to this. We have our lye water is in ice. And let's get our thermometer and see how hot it is. And then we will get back at it with our cocoa. So this being a double batch of lye to a single batch of water, it will get hotter, and that's why it had to go into the ice even if it wasn't going into goat's milk. And we're still up there. We'll come back to that. We'll let that go. And now we'll get back around over here to our goat's milk. Now, as I said, I have this on warm. I have my milk in here, and now I'm going to mix it. And basically, I'm going to take this cocoa, and I'm going to put it in this milk. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want this to be an exfoliant. I want to soften the cocoa. If I just dumped it in the way it is, then the bars would be scratchy, and I don't want the bars to be scratchy. So I'm going to put you over here on a little platform I've got set up so you can halfway see, and hopefully you can hear at least. So I'm going to dump a little bit of cocoa at a time, and I just really needed 2 hands for this. And being that both my grandchildren are asleep and my daughter, they live next door, they've been staying with me a lot with the baby being so little, but tonight they're at their house and I've got the night to myself. Yay! It's going to be my first night without the babies. No night duty. Yay! My daughter, she sleeps like a stone. She sleeps like a rock. And so she had to have help. She had to have help with her first baby too. Okay, so I'm going to put my stick blender in here, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. I have the cocoa in here, and the stick blender, and the milk. And I'm going to make chocolate milk. No sugar added. Alright, I'll bring you back. Remember, this will probably be a 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe 5-part video, so you've got to watch for the different parts. I'll always put a link in the bottom right below the video in the comment, above the comments in my description. I'll always put a link for the next video, and please hit the like button and please subscribe. But I'm going to bring you right back just as soon as I get this milk all mixed up, and if it has went over the 15-minute mark, then please look for part 2, and it'll say the part 2, the first part of the title, just like the one you're looking at now where it says part 1. Alright, I'm back. Now I have gotten my chocolate milk made, and that is the goat's milk and the 1.5 cups of Hershey, Toll House cocoa. My oil is on medium, on low, no, not low, warm, excuse me. And I have my lye, and it is very cool compared to what you would normally do it. I brought it down to a really cool temperature so that we can work with this and not burn our milk. Alright, now I'm going to start working with this. I'm going to try to put you where you can see. There you go. And I'm going to turn my stick blender on high. And then pour my lye. And now normally I would immediately remove the lye container to the sink and flush it with water. I'm just going to sit it there for now. It is back away from the edge, but that is a dangerous item. It's just that for the purposes of this video, I'm going to stay closer. Now I'm going to bring you over. Alright, now I have mixed my lye with my oil, Now I'm going to add my chocolate milk. All right. Alright, now you have seen the major process. I'm not going to bore you with the long period of time in which I have to keep this going, because we have to keep our heat down now, because this is goat's milk soap, so we've got to watch our temperature with hot processed goat's milk when we're initially working with it. So my clock says it is 4:05. And we will time now how long it takes to get us to a good trace, and then we're going to turn our temperature to low and keep a very close eye on this soap. Alright, I will keep you in the loop. Remember, look for part 1, part 2, part 3, however long this video takes, and watch. Please subscribe, and please hit the like button, and Lord, please give us some comments. And this is a soap experiment. We have to have your opinion, please. Alright, I'm going to keep stick blending this and see how it goes. Alright, I have came to trace. If you can see the buildup of soap there where I tapped my stick blender off, I stick blended it the whole time. I never stopped, and it took from 4:05 to 4:13. Here's my moles waiting, and so now I'm going to leave it on low for right now, or on warm, excuse me. I'm going to leave it on warm, and I'm going to put the lid on it. But I am going to watch it very closely, and I'm keeping my stick blender handy in case it separates, in case I don't get it out before it separates, so that I can put it back together when the milk should turn into buttermilk. And so we are keeping it on warm, and I will keep you in the loop. Just keep hanging in there. Okay, it is 4:27, and I came to do my first stir. And you can see that the soap has thickened and is wonderfully thick. It is still soft around the edges, and it just needs to cook a little bit longer, but not much. When you do the hot process with the goat's milk, it does not take as long as your regular hot press soap. And we're going to keep a close watch on this. It has to be stirred, where the hot process soap, you try to stir it as little as possible. With this, you have to stir it more often, because it will burn the goat's milk around the edges of the pot when on low. But we have left this on warm. So I have done my first stir, and we're doing good. I am trying to prevent this from separating, which is what happens with goat's milk when you put it on warm and you put the lye into the milk and you cook it on low in a crock pot. I'm doing warm. Okay, so we've done our first stir. It's nice and thick. We're coming to gel, and we'll be putting our essential oils in here very soon. and I will keep you in the loop. Remember, watch for part 1, part 2. I'll put a link for the next video in the description of this video so that you can find the next video, and so that you can keep in sequence with the videos and not get lost. And hit the like button, and please subscribe. But I'll keep you going on how to do this. Okay, it is 4:33, and I am stirring again. It cooks more around the edges. See how it's coming up there? And we want to keep that nice and blended. Because we don't want the edges to get too melty. So now we're going to turn this off, and I'm going to take the stick blender to it. Boy, you can really smell the cocoa. Okay, I'm going to keep blending this, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, it is 4:37, and I've been stick blending the whole time, and we did hit separation, which is what I talked about, where the milk turns into buttermilk. And if you can notice that we are coming back together, see how it's creamy? Okay, now I'm going to knock that off and take my spoon and work around the edges. And if you'll notice, it has came back together, and it is, and that's with the stick blender. Now I have turned it off the heat, and we are going to let it cook with just the amount of heat that we have there. Okay, so we're just going to let it slowly cool down, and when it gets the right temperature, we're going to put our essential oils in. So just keep watching, and remember, hit the like button, look for part 1, part 2, part 3, so that you can watch the full length of the video. Okay, it is 4:52, and we are going to do a soap test. Remember, guys, this is an experiment, and I'm going to put some of this soap right there. And I always use a cake icing spatula, because you can really clean the sides of your pot down and get it back into the mix, as they might say. I do not like to waste soap, and so this little device here is awesome for keeping your soap in the pot and not around the edges and not hardening to where you can't utilize it. Okay, now here is that soap, and there was a little bit of oil or something in that thing, and I didn't realize it. Alright, it is cooling down, and it is making a nice soap ball. So that is good. So we are ready to add our Supperfats to this. And let me show you what we do. Now, I had forgotten earlier to put my vitamin E and my glycerin in here. I put glycerin and vitamin E in all of my soaps. And so we're going to do that now. I'm going to put the camera down long enough to clean out the inside of the bowl. I know y'all just love looking at the side of a crock pot. Sorry about that. I have no access to a cameraman today, so we'll just have to make do with looking at the side of the crock pot. Now, I have put my Supperfats in, and my vitamin E and my glycerin, and I am stirring that up. I may even use the stick blender. We'll just have to wait and see. And I use 4 ounces of Supperfats per batch of soap. This is blending up nicely. What's really going to be fun is to see how long it takes to dry the soap to where it can be used. Because all the other times I've cooked it for longer, and but I just felt like that the goat's milk was not being justly treated, because you've got all these benefits from the goat's milk, but you're getting the goat's milk too hot, and aren't we losing some of those benefits? So I felt like it was important to do this experiment and try to keep our goat's milk at a low temperature, even though we were doing hot process. Alright, so now we've done that. So I need to go get my thermometer. I'll just take you with me. I'll show you what else I'm doing. Look over the mess. Here we have 4 pots. I have my Supperfats and vitamin E waiting for each one of them. This one here is ready. You can see how we have that Vaseline look to it. So I have cut it off to cool so that I can add essential oils. This one is close. You see we still have too much whiteness going on. You can see the Vaseline look here and around the edges, but it still needs a little bit more time. I'm keeping the lid cracked because these two like to boil over. They just get hotter. These just don't get that hot. Oh, you see that super glossiness around the edges? That's what we're looking for. And so these are not ready yet. That one there is getting close. And we're going to have a batch of soap with each one of these. I haven't got my essential oils out yet. I'm going to do some tea tree and lavender and jasmine, but I haven't got it all planned out yet, and but that's what I'm doing over here. So let's get our thermometer. It's floating around here somewhere. There we go. I had it rinse off. So let's get our thermometer. Wipe it off a little bit. It was in a bowl that I had measured lye in, powdered lye, and rinsed. And now for our essential oils, we need to be 150 or less. Now that's my rule. Sometimes, like grapefruit, I bought grapefruit. I had no idea that grapefruit essential oil had a flash point of, I think, 110, so I flashed off part of my grapefruit, and my soap don't smell that good, as good as it should. But you know, you get soap down to 110, it is very difficult to work with it and put it in a soap mold. So I just don't think grapefruit needs to be put in soap. So that's my new decision on the subject. No more grapefruit. Okay, it is just a little bit above 110. I don't know if you can see that, but it is just a little bit above 110. So we're going to let it sit here and air. I may even stir it again because that releases some of the heat, and I will bring you back, and then we will put our essential oil into the mix. Oh, and let's see how this is doing. Yeah, I had put my oil spoon there, and so there was some oil there. So but it has made, it's making nice soap. So I'm going to put that back in there, and we're going to watch our temperature. It's just a little bit, it has not hit 175 yet, but we got to bring it down to 150 or below. So I will bring you back in the loop, and let's look at the time. It is 5 o'clock, and I'll bring you back. Keep watching for part 1, part 2, part 3. Hit the like button, please. Please leave me your comments. I love getting comments. And please subscribe. Okay, our temperature is now at 150. And I just kept stirring it, and I just kept watching it. And now I'm adding our peppermint and our clove essential oil. And you know that you get flash off if your nose stings from the fumes coming off your soap. So you know that you didn't wait long enough if you get that awful stingy smell or feeling in your nose when the fumes comes up off the soap. So now I'm mixing my essential oils in, and then I'm going to put it in the molds, and I'll bring you back. Okay, now I have put it in the mold, and I'm doing a pretty swirl across the top, and I have more in there. I'm going to do a partial in one of my other molds. And there is our deep forest peppermint. And I will be filling this mold here up. I use these little boards, where's our boards, to separate my mold out when I have more than, when I don't have a full batch to go in a mold. And then I'll finish filling that with some of the soaps from over there that I'm making. And I will continue this video tomorrow when we cut this soap and see how it works. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, but it will continue because I'm going to add on the end when we cut this soap tomorrow. Alright. Okay, here's all the soap I've made tonight. You saw me make the deep forest peppermint, and we had a whole one plus a little. And then this is eucalyptus and lavender, no, not eucalyptus, lavender, tea tree, and a splash of peppermint. That's what these two are. And then this is jasmine, honey, oats, and bee pollen. And that's some of the, I sprinkled some of the oats on the top too, and as it cures, it sort of pulls a little bit of that oat in, and it just gives it a real nice appearance. And then this is rosemary and clary sage with a dash of eucalyptus. And I am looking forward to having these at the Art at the Barn this Saturday coming up. That will be the 5th. That's May 5th in Valleyhead, Alabama at Art at the Barn at Sweet Seasons Farm. And you can look that up on the internet. And I'll be there with all my other soaps. And these are some I'm making though, so I'll have extra and plenty of people's favorites. And remember, I'm going to attach probably, like if this is part 3, then there'll be part 4 when we cut this soap here to see how it comes out. And so that you can see all the hard work, the fruit of our hard work. There we go. All right. Just keep watching for part 1, part 2, part 3, and I'll put a link in the description for the next video on each one of the series. Please give me some comments, subscribe, and hit the like button. Good night, YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. We did the soap yesterday for the Deep Forest Peppermint Goat's Milk Hot Process, and so today we're going to cut it. And here is the big loaf. There's a little bit left over there in that one. This is my homemade cutter. Let's get you all set up so you can see pretty good. There we go. Alright. And the soap, let's see, it's around 10 or 11. And I got finished making it about 3:30 last night, but this was done about an hour or an hour and a half ahead of that. I know we were looking at the clock on my stove, but the clock on my stove is never right because we live out in the country and the electricity is always flickering off and on. So therefore my clock on my stove is always wrong because it's really hard to set, and I don't have a battery, or that is, you can't put a battery in a stove to, you can't put a battery in a stove for backup, and you have to sit there for 30 minutes and slowly go through the clock to get the time set. So I think it was probably 6 or 7 o'clock on the actual stove when I got done. Well, maybe I'll try that thing Nancy today does. She runs her knife down the side of her soap to separate it from the paper. Well, I think she uses corrugated plastic. That's what she uses. If I had have known there was such a thing, I probably would have made my moles wider so that I could have put corrugated plastic in there, but I didn't know it existed because I hadn't seen Nancy today's video yet. And so I'm still using plastic coated freezer paper. Alright, now let's get this mold out of the way. I bought some new real thin plastic at Lowe's, and I'm going to see about trying to put that in my molds. It's just really, really thin plastic. It was a kind of plastic you buy in the sign section where you're making homemade signs. And so, but I promised you that I would make you I would add this to the end of the video. And so now I'm going to just take off a thin sheet to get us a clean edge. And oh, it's so pretty. The chocolate sort of has a marbly look in there. We'll have to wait and see how that looks when it dries. So it's around 10 to 11 o'clock. And this was put in the mold about 1:30 to 2:30 last night. And I'm not one for letting soap sit for decades in the molds. You don't really have to with hot processed soap. The quicker you get it on the drying rack, the faster you can put it in the hands of your customers. And now, this is our goat's milk soap, and it was an experiment, but I made all that other soap last night while I was doing it, and after I finished. Now, I'm taking a knife that has a double blade. It's real easy to work with. It's thin, it's not pointed, it's sort of rounded, so it makes a good line. And I'm marking off my soap to ensure that mild fluctuations don't occur, because I'm trying to get my soap a little bit more unison or uniformed. And I found that some of my slices were thicker than others, and so I ended up with some of my bars being thicker than an inch. And all of my soap is an inch thick. Now, this is something that happens from time to time. You see how it's not quite an inch? It's just slightly shorter, that last bar. And normally, I would revamp and take just a little bit off of each slice to make that a whole slice. But today I'm not going to do that, because I want to borrow this from my bathroom. My husband stole one as soon as he smelled it. He was like, "Give me that." And I was real surprised. Even young males in their teens, when with their mother and come up to the booth at the farmer's market where I sell a lot, want to pick out this soap. And it's really popular with men, and I never thought that it would be popular with men. Oh, and look how pretty. That is so pretty. And the chocolate, because we put it in there ahead of time, we put it in there early with the milk, I believe it will be nice and creamy, and it will not have any what do you call it? I'm not awake yet. I've just had a few hours sleep. It won't have any of that abrasiveness, exfoliation. It won't be an exfoliant soap. It will be a cleansing bar that will just be creamy, because goat's milk should be creamy. We are in one of my back bedrooms that I am turning into my workroom. I am trying to get the soap out of the kitchen, because I'm always making a terrible mess in there. I'm always making a horrible mess making soap, and then you can't cook until you've cleaned it all up. And you're hungry because you've been making soap and not eating and just working hard making soap. But you can't cook because your kitchen's a mess, because you You've been making soap. And you can tell I'm tired. I swear, I'm not on drugs. I'm just didn't have enough sleep last night. But I have that art at the barn this Saturday, the 5th, in Valley Head, Alabama. It is an art festival and artisan, and I'm considered an artisan. And so I'm going to be at that festival, and I made one batch of this soap, and it sold like hotcakes, and I didn't expect that, so I had to make some more. I know you're tired of watching me cut soap now, but so I'll turn off the machine, and I hope everyone enjoyed. I'm going to add to this video and see how long. Well, probably I'll go ahead and post this video, but like it'll have maybe 5 parts or 3 parts. But then once this soap dries in, I'm hoping 2 days, and we can see how firm it is. I mean, it is hard right now. I mean, it is hard to make a dent in it. So I don't think I'm going to have any issues selling this on Saturday. And today is Thursday morning. So, but I'll add a little clip showing this soap, and also maybe I'll add to that a video of the festival. So that's what we'll do. We'll look at this soap and how hard it is at the festival on Saturday, and I'll just add that clip to the video footage that I'll be taking of the festival and showing the festival and me selling soap there. So that's what we'll do. I'll go ahead and load this video so everybody can see it, and then we'll just do a little clip on how ready this soap was for the market on Saturday. So look for the Art at the Barn Sweet Seasons Farm Festival video to see how this soap looks on Saturday. Alright, I hope everyone has enjoyed this goat's milk tutorial experiment, and have a wonderful day and blessed by God.
Okay.
Alright, here we are at the Art at the Barn, and this is Kim with Essential Soap. I have all my soaps laid out today. I've left them in their containers because we had just a little bit of rain this morning. And I told my YouTube viewers that I would check out my Deep Forest Peppermint Soap to see how hard it was. And it's good and hard. And good and hard. And you know, when we made this, I mean, you can't put a dent in it. It is hard. It is ready to go. And that is our goat's milk soap that we made on warm in the large crock pot. And so you can see those 3 videos of how to make goat's milk soap without burning it on warm, so that the goat's milk doesn't still smell all skanky, and also to help prevent separation, which occurs. It's where the milk turns into buttermilk inside your crock pot when you're making hot processed goat's milk. So check that out on my channel, and in a little bit I'm going to take you around and show you the rest of the market, and put that on my channel and add it to this video. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, and please give me your comments. Oh, that's okay, I'll go in front of you. No, we've had a band. I couldn't play, do a recording though while they were playing, because YouTube has new laws, and I would have to go get them to sign a piece of paper. I had permission to put this on YouTube with them playing, because that music belongs to them and not to me. And here we are at the Art at the Barn. And here is Essential Soap. With the way the sun is, I don't know if you can even see the soap bars. We have a wonderful lady with flowers and plants. And here is our soaps today. We're all set up at the Art at the Barn. We had a bunch of rain, so I've kept my soap in the boxes. So for a quick getaway. But the sun is shining now. And there's even more vendors around the curb. When my mom gets here and finds me, I'm going to try to take some video so that y'all can see more of the Art at the Barn in Valley Head, Alabama Craft Festival. No, it's an art show and artisan. That's right. And maybe they will be taking a break so we can video some more.
Everybody, I'm Cheese, son of the soap lady. This is Art at the Barn here in Valley Head, Hammondsville area. We're gonna walk around and look at some cool stuff. Here's some people, they're buying stuff. This is awesome. They have Art at the Barn every year. It started out small, but now it's gotten pretty large, as you can see. Ish. You can make it bigger. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Cool stuff made out of gourds.
Who would have guessed?
This is some of the cool stuff you'll find here at Art at the Barn.
What out here?
He's probably telling.
Totally different dogs. I understand how this dog works, but I don't understand.
Yes, life size. Cool dangly stuff.
We've got a permanent spot there, so we use it there. So we're not doing something like this. All right.
Camp Creek Collections. Woo. Cool stuff. Are you good? I'll get to be on YouTube. Yay! Wood stuff. Stuff with honey bears. Cool wood signs. Yay! Cornbread. Pictures. Talk.
Okay, do you know Chuck?
Yeah, the gallery.
Also, the baked goods are now half price.
Baked goods are now half price. Well, these baked goods are set in the sun for a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
You all get to be on YouTube, yes. Okay. Everybody, because I do not want to walk completely around this, although I do love you just as much as my mother does, we shall just do a broad view of where I've been. Holy crap.
Way down there.
Where I could go. Not a chance. Too hot, I'm sorry. You guys are awesome though. If you come, they've got food too. Good food. You ever had a lemon sausage pizza? I haven't, but I did today, and it's awesome. Now we're going to conclude and come back to Mom because I've had enough. Cool stuff. Oh, sorry, it's cool.
Hamburger break.
And back to the soap. She's having one of them lamb burgers. It's amazing. Okay, this is a demonstration on lamb herding that they do here.
What he'll do, he will work himself to death if in this hot weather, unless you stop it. Heat exhaustion.
So you taking him swimming now?
All right, you got any questions?
Come on, let's go look. I wonder what language that is. There's a great picture.
Hello everyone here at YouTube. I just wanted to let you know that I'm back from the Art at the Barn. I had a wonderful day. I sold a lot of soap, met a lot of wonderful people, and I made a lot of great contacts. So if anybody is thinking of setting up at Art at the Barn next year, I highly recommend it. I went to their website, it's Sweet Seasons Farms, and I contacted the owner through that route. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. I was so covered up that I was not able to walk around the market and make video for you. I did give the camera to my son, and I hope you've enjoyed his antics. I'm going to go take a nap. And please comment. Please press the like button. Please subscribe. Please watch all my videos on how to make soap. And I normally sell regularly at the Mentone Farmers Market on Saturday in Mentone, Alabama. If you're ever that way, please come and see me and let me know you found me on YouTube. You can also buy my soap online. Just contact me through my channel and I'll send you a link. And I hope you've enjoyed this video.